questions.
A win is a win. Overall thoughts?
Yes, probably surprising thoughts, but I have done this long enough that it took me a while to figure this out, but I learned a long time ago that there are no better wins. There are no better wins than when you are completely struggling from the offensive side, when nothing's going right and balls are not going in and free throws are being missed and turnovers are being had, and it's just not a night of confidence on the offensive end, and you still find a way to dig down and win the game. There's no better ones to a coach, and so I'm incredibly proud of this effort. This is a team, maybe without the name of, some. I know their coach. Their coach was at Mississippi when I was at Vanderbilt years ago. He was one of the best defensive coaches, if not the best defensive coach in the league at the time. They play fantastic defense, number one. They're extremely tough. Number two, these guards played on NCAA team last year, took Oklahoma to all they were worth, and we knew all this. This is a quality. There's a lot of quality on the other side. We, on the other hand, have been flying to LA and coming back and flying to Boise, and it's it's tough stuff right now for our guys to dig deep and find a way to hold the team to 29%. I could not be more proud. Of course, you wish it was pretty. You love it when it's pretty, when it's flowing and all that, but my favorite wins are when nothing's going right and your guys just completely stick together. There was one point in the game, they had taken the lead, I forget exactly, might have been 6-minute mark, something, whatever, and we're in a little trouble, and I just looked at them. It was one of the greatest points of the year when I could see them all. They looked over at me, and I wanted to call a timeout, and they're like, no, don't call timeout. And that's a big step. That's a big step, and I sure appreciate that. I appreciate their effort. They've gone through some, we've had some. It's a tough run, tough schedule it's an understatement. And so it was a heck of a win in my mind, given all the circumstance going into the game.
So considering what you knew about them defensively and the travel you cited to LA and to Boise, did you actually expect a game like this tonight?
No. I certainly wouldn't have predicted. I expected a very tough game. I didn't think either one of us would have struggled this much offensively. No, I didn't picture this. Gosh, I wish I could have a crystal ball, and I would know ahead of time whether I should be more worried or less worried, and I could enjoy life more. But no, I didn't expect that. I expected a hard-fought game. I knew defensively what they're like and what it was going to be like. I just felt like, you can see it. Our confidence is dinged a little bit. You could see it in our play the last week and a half, week or so. Is our guys are human. They're not quite as full of confidence. This will do us a lot of good, I think. And we needed this tonight, and I'm very happy for our guys. They may go home thinking, we didn't play very well. To me, they played outstanding. Because when nothing's going right and you dig down and find a way to win, then you're winners to me.
Do you think fatigue or anything plays into the shooting woes?
Say it again.
Fatigue at all have anything to do with the shooting?
You know what? There's so many of those kinds of questions, and they're great ones. But you never know as a coach, like, which ones are real and which ones are not. You know what? I could say, we're tired, and that's why we shot bad, or man, we've been traveling, and so that's why we shot bad, and we've lost a couple games, tough, hard games to good teams on the road. So but you know what? I don't know that. I don't really know the truth of that, and so to me, in the end, it sounds like an excuse, and if I knew, I would say it, but to me, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if you're tired, and it doesn't matter if your confidence is dinged up a little bit, and it doesn't matter if you got some rough stuff in school and all that. It's a bottom line world, and it's a competitive world, and you all live in it, and I live in it. It doesn't matter. Nobody wants to hear your woes. They don't want to hear them. And what they do want to see is they want to see people that overcome tough times. That's what I want to see. Those are the movies I want to go to. Those are the people I want to be around and learn from. people that overcome adversity at all different levels. So could they be tired? Yeah, they might be tired, but you know what? So what? So what? I'll tell you what, they weren't so tired that they couldn't hold a team to 29%. And that, again, is all about heart and guts and want to, and I'll take that any day of the week.
Coach, you joked about this, or mentioned this in the past, about Ben Moore kind of running point guard, and we saw him bring the ball up a lot today in the
Yes.
second half. So, kind of how that played into the game, and what were you telling Ben to do that?
Yes, absolutely. It's something that we work on. You know, they put about as much heat on us as that. Well, no, not about. They put more heat on us than anyone has all year, as you can tell. They're not a real big team. They're very, very quick, and they protect their lack of size by incredible pressure. And they're very unconventional because of that. It's hard to play against them. They get you way out of rhythm. But, you know, moving forward, what's happened for us, you know, and I've said this from day one, you know, the last few years it was kind of easy for us to just, you know, we just kind of had our system in place because we always had Nick, and we always had our big guys. We had Jordan and Marcus and Yannick, and we always had our medium guys, and the system just kind of all fit together and just flowed. You could just go one year to the next. Well, it's not that way this year. You know, we don't have Nick, and we don't have our big guys. You know, Harry's developing, but we don't have those pillars of what you would call a normal college basketball team. The little point guards, great big guys, medium wings, and all that. So we've got to, and definitely have some ideas how we can help ourselves, but there's no way we can practice right now. You don't do this in an hour and a half, okay? This takes days, this takes weeks to make some changes that you feel now that you've played some games. How can we protect weaknesses, and how can we hurt other people with the ingredients that we have? And so we definitely have some ideas that way, but I don't know, when are we going to do it? You know, we need some time. And so right now it's not going to happen. We're going to play 2 o'clock, and I feel like tomorrow we're going to play, and then we're going to play quickly again on Wednesday. Then we have finals week. So believe me, finals week at SMU is not when you want to have long practices. So there'll be a time, and we'll make some adjustments that I think will help us offensively. But nothing helps you more than confidence. Nothing helps you more than winning, and just, you know, no self-doubt. And whether you have some fatigue or not, I don't know, but I just don't like to ever, you know, just kind of say, well, that's why, because we were this or that. I just hate to ever say that, because first of all, I don't know, and second of all, it sounds like an excuse.
What kinds of adjustments can you make to kickstart the offense?
Well, that would be pretty dumb. It's a good question, but it'd be really dumb of me to just go ahead and tell everybody where we're headed and some ideas that we have. I just think, you know, that would really not serve us very well. So hopefully those will show up not soon again, because and I do think it's a good question. I really do. I just think I'd be, you know, my gosh, that would not be where I want to go. But there are some we're gonna have to play. You know, they're gonna have to be some modes, if you want to call them that way, that we play a little bit different. We change the floor a little bit. We're not conventional. You know, again, against certain teams we do have a post game. Against other teams, that'll be difficult. You know, we do have a number we set at the beginning of the year. We have a lot of guys that can shoot the 3 well, and we're not shooting the 3 well right now. So that's an issue, because we're going to need by the end of the year to be a team that has a number of guys that are playing with confidence and shooting threes, and I think that will come back. It's a long year, and I do think we can help them with that, and hopefully that's going to take place.
Tonight was, I think, your 3rd straight game that you went to halftime with fewer than 30 points. What did you talk about with your team at halftime? What adjustments did you try to make after the intermission?
Well, just mainly ball movement, you know, and I thought we did a much better job of that. Now, in defense, they pressure ball reversal as much, more than anyone we've played all year. So they kind of make it stick. They're small, they're quick, they get out in the lanes, and so that made it a little bit tough for us. But our biggest thing that we were trying to do was to make sure that we were getting a lot of ball reversal to at least change the size of the floor with them. They're very aggressive. They're very good at help side defense. They're just a great defensive team, and so we definitely tried to do that, and I guess it worked a little bit better. We got 3 whole more points than we did the first half. So, you know, no big payoff there, but I am proud of the defensive end, and you know, offense will come back and we can help them, but I can tell you it's the hardest thing to do is to help a team that doesn't play with great heart and fight and play together and all those kind of things. Those teams are hard to help, and tonight we were definitely not one of those teams.
Looked like they had some trouble in the second half when you guys get some dribble penetration that they really couldn't guard some of you guys without fouling. How big an effect do you think that had?
You know, and that's the mix we need to semi answer the question before. We need a mix that makes sense to our guys. You know, it's easy. You know, it's easy to just sit here. Well, you need to do more of this, and you need to do a little bit more of that. And, but it has to all fit together. It's you know, I always equate it to music. You know, which you know I love music, and when you put a good band together and everybody sort of gets in sync, that's basketball. When everybody, all of a sudden it all blends and everybody has their part and it works together. But just to say, you know, just drive it more, or just do this more, or that more, it's much more complicated because there's always the big factor of spacing and timing, and also the right places, the right guys in the right place for the actions that take place. So it's not a simple thing to do. I don't mean that there's certainly a lot more complicated things starting with rocket science, but it is, you know, a good offense takes a lot of thought, and we're going to have to find ways, without question, with the type of a team. And again, I've never coached a team with these ingredients, but that doesn't mean we can't figure out how to be a much better offensive team. I think we will.
Anything else?
Coach, the ball's not going in the hole, but Shake and Sterling, they had some wide open ones all alone tonight that they gave up. Do you think that's a confidence thing, or do you think they're being too unselfish?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure of that, but I know I want them to shoot it, and I always tell them to shoot it. You know, Sterling had a great look, and he wanted to drive it, and he's been doing that a lot lately. I think he's a great shooter. I keep telling him that. I want him to shoot the ball, and I want Shake to shoot the ball. I want them all to shoot the ball when they're open. But here's another fine line. This is what's going on a lot in college basketball. There's a school of thought that you know, anybody, just run them off the line. You overextend on a three-point shooter. Some people like to do that. Some people don't like to do that. And so you got to get a feel for that. And it is nothing but feel. It's a talent. And so I can feel whether you're closing on me quickly enough to make me rush or not. And if I feel like you're not there in time, I'm letting it go. And it's a split-second decision. It's something we work on a lot. It's not showing up like I would like, but I want guys to shoot when they feel they've got room, and I want them to shot fake or drive when they don't. We're not as good in that area as we need to be. We'll keep working on it, and I think we'll get better and better at it. You know, what we have is a lot of guys that are, you know, big guards, you know, not those little combo-y guards. That they're big guards, and maybe, you know, a lot of them didn't even play guard in high school, to be honest. Okay, so they're on a process of improvement and feel and all those things, and they work hard. You know, they do. They come in, they put a lot of extra time in it. So I think we'll see definite improvement. I see some things that we can, some weapons we have. We've just got to figure out how to use them where it's not too complicated, you know, putting in a whole lot of new things and everybody's standing around and they're confused. You can never let your team be confused. That's the worst thing you can do, make them stand around and think, because then they can't react.
With all that change you mentioned, and especially with some of the guys who hadn't been playing a little bit in some positions before, do you feel like you have an identity on offense per se, or is that something you're still trying to
Not
build
yet.
toward?
No, not yet. For sure we don't yet. No, absolutely we don't. Trying to get one on the defensive end. You know, we're trying to do that. I think we have an identity rebounding. If you look at our numbers over time, I've had a lot of the coaches that we've played. You know, I hope maybe tonight was not our greatest, but we have, I think, established a rebounding identity. It's something that's important. Our guys are doing great. I think offensively, we're not, not where we're gonna be. No, I don't think it's there yet.